Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the top 5 reasons why Canada's top study permit and visa get rejected. And on the other side, I'm going to be sharing with you the top 5 things you can do to make sure that you're guaranteed that your study permit is going to be approved in your first try if you watch all of these tips to the very end. Hi, my name is Peter Isesele, and in this channel, we talk about everything that's to do with Canada studying and Canada visa application. So if these are some of the content that you're interested in, make sure you subscribe and watch this video till the very end, and consider liking this video. Is really going to help the YouTube algorithm recommend this video to other people. Without further ado, let's get into the video. The first reason why Canada study permit gets rejected is the lack of a good study plan. So your study plan is basically how is your previous study experience and whatever you're going to study now actually match. And if you have a gap in your study, how is that playing? And if you graduated like long time ago, and you're planning to do your master's or PhD or diploma now, how does that play in? And if you already have a bachelor's degree and you're planning to apply for another bachelor's degree, how are you going to justify all of this study plan? So everything really have to work together. So I'm just going to give you an example. Let's say somebody studied nursing in their bachelor's, and now they are planning to go, they worked in the nursing field for about 3 to 4 years. Now they're planning to apply for a master's in IT or a diploma in IT. It doesn't just make any sense. So you will not be able to convince them why you are interested in this new thing, because they will just think that you're just planning to immigrate. That's why you're looking for a way to get your approval. So if you do this, there's an absolute high chance that your study permit is going to get denied. So on the flip side, what you can do in order to get your study permit approved is to make sure you have a very solid, a very great study plan. So if you don't, let's say engineering in your bachelor's, and if you just graduated, you're applying for a master's in engineering, you don't need to really do a long thing explaining. If you graduated, let's say like 5 years, 6 years or 7 years ago, and you studied your bachelor's in engineering, and you've been working in an engineering firm, and now you want to do a master's, it's understandable. But if you're working in engineering, you did your undergrad in engineering, and now you've been working as a marketing officer for 6 years, and now you want to apply for a master's in engineering, it just doesn't go to fly. So make sure you pick a program that matches your previous study or the experience that you have, okay? And so that if you have a study gap, it's going to be very easy for you to justify your study gap based on the information that you are going to be presenting to them. The number 2 reason why study permit get refused in Canada is inadequate proof of funds. If your proof of funds are not really convincing, it's going to be a problem. There are a lot. I've done a couple of videos. The link is going to be in the description of how to show proof of funds. There are a couple of things to consider. Don't just ask me how much is the amount. Okay, a couple of things to consider when you think about proof of funds. Number 1, do you have scholarship or not? Are you applying for BSc, masters, PhD, diploma? Have you paid your tuition deposit or not? And then, are you sponsoring yourself? Is your family sponsoring you? Is your business sponsoring you? And then that is going to be what's going to help you to calculate the amount that you're going to be requiring. For example, if you have a if you're applying for a bachelor's, you should ideally, your sponsor should have minimum of at least 2 to 3 years of tuition plus $10,000 cost of living. If you're applying for a 1-year diploma program, at least $10,000 for cost of living and minimum 1-year tuition. If you're applying for master's, it's the same thing, minimum 1-year tuition and at least $10,000 cost of living. If you apply for PhD with a fully funded scholarship, at least $10,000 to $15,000 should be fine, on the condition that it's a fully funded scholarship. So if you don't show adequate funds, they're just going to deny you, and they're going to say based on personal asset. That is a major reason why they deny people if their proof of funds is not done accurately. So if you want personal guide, if you're having problem with proof of funds, you can reach out to me. The link is going to be in the description and pin. You can reach out to me on either on WhatsApp or through my email or through my website. I'm going to guide you to know exactly based on are you working, do you have a business? These are some of the things. So everything really needs to be convincing. If it's not convincing to them, they're just going to deny you like right away, and your study permit is going to be refused absolutely. So make sure you take to these instructions that I'm giving onto you to make sure that you do and work on your proof of funds to be, to be very convincing. And one thing they hate, don't just go put money there. Let's say you just send $5,000 equivalent to your account, and you're not working, you can't show where that money is coming from. It's really going to be a problem, right? So if a business is going to be sponsoring you, there's something you can do about that. If you are sponsoring yourself, there are some documents that you need to show. And if your brother, your sister, your aunt, or your father, your mother, they are sponsoring you, there are some documents that you also need to show as well. So if you don't work on these things well, you don't provide the right amount, you don't provide the right documentation, is going to be an absolute refusal. Okay, the third reason why Canada visa get denied is based on family ties. So before I move further, if you've been enjoying this video so far, please endeavor to hit the like button and also subscribe so that whenever new videos are released, you'll be the first person to get notified. So family ties, number 3. So family ties has to do with either your children or your spouse that are back in your home country. You really need to be able to prove that you have something to bring that will actually draw you back once you're done with your program. That is why I usually don't encourage people to apply everybody, like your spouse, children, everybody all apply at the same time. What you're just telling the visa officers is that, once I get this visa, I am not coming back to my home country. That is basically what you're telling them. And one of the ways you can get gold home ties, like I said, apply a loan and then talk about your spouse and your children back in your home country. And then if you are working in a business and you can get a study leave, it's really going to be a very good home tie. And then if you have a business back home, a registered business, that also be a good home tie. If you have kind of properties, land and real estate and some other things, is going to be a good home tie, so that you can prove that, I can leave all of these things in my country and then just continue to remain in Canada, because you must be able to prove that even though at the end of your program you are still able to, you'll be eligible to apply for the post-graduation work permit and probably stay in Canada, but for visa application you need to be able to show it to them. Okay, the fourth reason why visa get denied is medical inadmissibility. Basically, if you have your medical issues and maybe you have any contagious disease, that's why you always do a tuberculosis test. So if you have tuberculosis and other communicable contagious diseases, they are not going to allow you to enter Canada. The reason is because you're going to possess a lot of health risks to those that are living in Canada. So make sure that you're well. If you have any terminal sickness, make sure you treat yourself first, so that when you're going to do the medicals, you're going to pass. Do you know, if you do upfront medicals, you won't even know actually if you pass the test or not, because they're going to give you a slip, and then with that slip, they can send you results if you want, but most times a lot of people they don't mind. They give you the slip and then you upload that slip when you're applying for your visa, and then or if they request for for medicals in the process of processing your visa, what is going to happen is that if they look through your medical report and there's for any reason you don't meet that medical admission minimum requirement, what is going to happen is that your study permit is going to be denied on your other applications. Okay, the fifth reason why study permit get denied is actually your future goals and your career. Okay, when planning or you're applying for study permit, you need to be able to prove to them that whatever you're studying, you're going to study, you have a plan for the future. Okay, if you're planning to come back to your home country, it's easy to say that, okay, I want to do this master's in economics, because when I'm done, I'm going to return back to my country and I'm going to pick up a job as a business analyst, a financial analyst, or an economist in your country, as the case may be. So there has to be a future tied up to that plan. For bachelor's program, you don't really need to prove it, because they know that you have a couple of years to decide that. But for diploma or for master's or for PhD, you really need to show them good reasons, right? If you're going for PhD, like when I was applying for my visa, one of the things I told them, well, immediately I'm done with my PhD, I'm going to go to my university where I graduated. I'm going to pick up lecturing position, right? Because at that time I was already making a little bit of negotiation with my department. So that way they know that if you're done with the program, you are going to go back to your home country. So that is the fifth reason. If that is not genuinely and strategically planned, just be rest assured that your visa is going to be denied. So there are a lot of other things. If you need further guide, I have a personal one-on-one mentorship where I guide people on how to come to Canada. So if you're interested and you want that personal guide on personal communication with me, there's going to be a link in the description. So make sure you click that link, contact me on WhatsApp or through email or my website, and I'm going to guide you one-on-one. So once again, thank you for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed, do it to subscribe and hit the like button so that whenever new videos are released, you'll be the first person to get notified. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.